I'm Denha, and you're watching FYI. In Ann Arbor, we pride ourselves on how educated we are as a city, and what better way to celebrate higher education than having the written word on full display. Literature versus Traffic was a one-night-only art installation that illuminated the night sky.
Liberty Street between Maynard and State is paved with books, and all of the books have LED lights in them, and it's kind of creating this illusion of literature pavement. It's really pretty.
It just brings people out and sort of raises a little awareness about reading, and people can grab books about things that they're interested in, or maybe able to grab things that they didn't know about and can read about them.
I love that Ann Arbor has these kinds of things, that the school and the group that's putting the exhibit on, that they can work together to do this kind of thing. And I really like seeing the kids here. The kids are really excited about it, just promoting a love of literature and a love of art all at the same time.
It's really a moment to honor us as a town, the way that the university and the community can come together and do something great, the way that this really speaks to how we value education, diversity, free thought, sustainability, that all of us have a voice, and surprisingly, if we work together in this way, we can pretty much do anything.
Stay tuned, and we'll be back shortly with more news and information. It's an art town, and we're just living in it. When you explore the city and its inhabitants, you may be surprised to find out how many of us dabble in the arts. Take a look. Twice annually, artisans take over the west side of Ann Arbor for a one-of-a-kind strolling art tour.
It's a typical quirky kind of Ann Arbor thing, so that's fun in itself. Plus, there's a lot of local artists, and it's so much more interesting to buy something from somebody who you've met and can explain it to you, what it means, and it's really personal.
The Westside Art Hop boasts 17 venues featuring 40-plus artists.
I'm creating a tribute to a person, a dedication. I take them into mind as I'm creating the bird in terms of their likes, their preferences, their taste. Even some of their characteristics, for example, like glasses or even like their fashion sense. And then I create a handwritten dedication about the bird through the lens of the individual's highest self.
I've always loved picture books, and I think the best ones approach art, and it's this whole sense of creating a partial narrative between the image and the words. So I would say that interplay is one of the more unique aspects of what I do.
It's a great way to see such varied artwork. There's glass artists, there's textile artists, there's painters, there's almost any avenue, any medium that you want to see, they'll find it in this neighborhood.
When we think of sharing the road, pedestrians and cyclists come to mind. But what about the men and women that fix the pavement? Learn more about work zone safety rules in this month's City Roundup in 60.
Hi, I'm Sergeant Bill Clark, the Ann Arbor Police Special Services Section. I'm here today to talk a little bit about work zone safety. We've all been driving in Michigan and seen all the orange barrels around, both on the freeway and here in town. You'll notice some lower speeds. Please drive carefully through this area. In 2016, there were 5,000 crashes in the state of Michigan related to work zones. 17 fatalities came out of those crashes, and there were 75 people seriously injured in those areas. So please slow down in those work areas. You'll see flaggers out there with either a flag or a stop sign or some other type of traffic control device. State law does require you abide by their direction when they're in the work zone. For those of you who don't know, the work zone sign that says work zone begins is where the zone starts, and then the zone ends where the sign says work zone ends. In addition, if you do get a citation in a work zone for speed or whatever else, the fines can be doubled. So please focus on your driving, keep those workers safe.
3 fifth graders from Saline's Heritage Elementary School dropped some knowledge about recycling during a countywide video contest, and their submission took home the top prize. Joining me is Carolyn, Kwon, Kendall, MacNaughton, and Charlie VanHaaften, winners of the Washtenaw County School Recycling Program's Education Challenge Video Contest. Well, that's a mouthful. But you guys actually got together as a group. You're 6th graders now, though. You're in middle school, so that was last year. But you won the prize like in the summer. Is that when you found out in the summer? Yeah. So why don't you tell me a little bit about the video contest and why you guys wanted to work as a group and submit something?
Well, it all started like I was like looking for something, and then my teacher, she came up to me and she said that maybe me and her would be good for it, but then good for the contest. And then she showed me the contest, and then we were like, maybe we should have a 3rd person. And she gave us a list of people. We picked Charlie, so that's really what started the contest.
But before that, we were doing a thing on recycling and how like trash and how it's hurting the environment. And when they asked me, I was kind of moved by the project that we were doing, so I thought this would be a great idea to make an impact and do something about it.
And it was like a big opportunity we couldn't really pass up, and like it just came to us that day, and like we didn't really want to like skip over it, and we thought it was going to be like a cool project we could all work on together.
So it wasn't a requirement, though. It was like it was an extra project that you wanted to do. So were there a lot of kids in your school that submitted, or?
I think
I don't know of any others.
Okay.
So, yeah. So.
How long did you work on the video for? How long did it take to make?
It was a couple months. Like
I'd say a couple weeks, like 3 weeks, but we met like once a week after school. So it was after school, and we just kind of had some fun, talked, discussed ideas and stuff.
Brainstormed?
Yeah.
So did you feel like you knew a lot about recycling going into making the video?
We kind of, I mean, like personally, I felt like I didn't know a lot, but like still, I knew like the basics.
Yeah.
What you could recycle and what like you couldn't recycle.
And I'm sure there's still, I feel like even someone like me who recycles all the time, I still have questions when there's certain things you get and you're like, can I recycle this? Can I not? Like and then you don't want to be the person throwing like trash in your recycle bin, but then you're like, I don't want to throw recycling in my trash bin either. So tell me about the actual video and like what the video is about.
Well, it's about, obviously, recycling, but it's kind of saying, because if you mess one thing up, it can, the workers have to sort that out and everything, and it can hurt the environment if you do something wrong and put the trash in the recycle bin. So we don't want to hurt our environment anymore and kind of ruin things that can be recycled.
Yeah, so it's more about like what you can and can't recycle.
Yeah, and so you guys kind of wrote a script for it? Is that how you went about it?
Yeah, we kind of like did a mini script like saying that like obviously we were 3 students that like were wondering about recycling, and we did like a couple of like just little like movements in like the video.
So were you guys all recycling at home prior to this video?
Yes, but not as much. Okay. I feel like this project kind of motivated me to do more recycling because we were doing the project in class and how much trash that our earth has, and then this came up, and then I was really motivated to keep recycling and recycle more and think about when I'm throwing in the trash and when I'm putting in the recycle bin.
That's awesome, and I think that was kind of the purpose of it, right? What about you guys?
I wasn't really aware of like what I was recycling in my home, but then once I really did like do this project, I was like realizing that we were really only like recycling paper, and then but there were a lot of things going to trash, so it gave me a little more awareness about what I could and cannot recycle.
And we like mostly our family like recycled boxes and like milk cartons and like magazines, but like we threw away a lot of paper that could have gone in the recycling, and so like that like when that brought it up to me, like I realized that like paper should go in recycling.
Yeah, I think it's really amazing to find out how easy it is to just start doing this in your house too, and just do it more. Because you're like, what's the difference between throwing it in this trash container or just throwing it in this bin? There isn't a difference. It's just being aware of the things that you're throwing and where you're throwing them to. So why don't we watch your video? So we're going to take a little break and we're going to take a look at the video that won each one of these kids top prize for their school.
Did you know that between 60 to 80% of recycling is actually recycled?
And it's our fault. What can we do to solve this problem?
You could pack your salads and sandwiches in a reusable container. We could use a paper reuse center, where if you only use half of the paper, you could use that other half, put it in the paper reuse center, and someone else could use that for something else.
And remember, no glass of any sort, not even bubble wrap.
Did you know that if you put a cup in the recycling while it still has a little of your drink in it, that could ruin the whole load of recycling, just because of something we were too lazy to sort out? Also, no styrofoam like styrofoam cups. I know they can feel like they can be recycled, but they can't be recycled.
And remember, no monitors, keyboards, printers, or any devices of any sort.
One more thing, no construction waste or pool covers. And if you don't know what construction waste is, it's what comes off of your house, like the shingles or nails.
And stop being lazy. Just because you're too lazy to sort out your trash, it might destroy our planet.
Today we're going to be talking about what is recyclable and what isn't recyclable. So here we have 2 plastic bottles, and remember, those can be recycled. But here we have water and Coke in each of them. So we cannot recycle them if they still have liquid in them.
And no markers or erasers, because markers still have ink in them, and erasers for their material.
Now these can't be recycled, these bags, because one, they have the aluminum in them, which is not recyclable. If this aluminum wasn't in them, then it could be recyclable, but since the aluminum is in them, it's not recyclable. And remember, here are some things that you can and cannot recycle. Make sure to check it out.
We're back with Carolyn, Kendall, and Charlie, and we just watched their winning video. So why don't you tell me how it felt when you found out that you won, which was just like a couple months ago in August?
Well, actually, I was up north, and so I actually didn't get the email until a couple days after we got the prize, and so Carolyn emailed me. She was like check your email, and she was like, we won. And then when I saw it, I kind of I went and told my mom, and then I really freaked out.
Yeah, I don't check my email very often, so and then the one time I did, I see one from her, and she's like, check your email, we won the recycling thing. And so I scroll down a little bit and I find it, and then it says we won, and I'm kind of in disbelief, because it's kind of hard to believe that we actually achieved that after kind of all that work, and it really paid off.
For me, I was at my grandma's house, and so I was just checking my Gmail, and I finally see a Gmail, because we were waiting for a couple
So you
weeks.
thought there was a chance? You were like,
yeah, but then
yeah.
But then when I was looking at it, I was like, what if this is a scam? Because I didn't really believe it.
That's awesome. So you guys were all pretty surprised, though, because it looked like, from what I read, that there was a lot more submissions this year. They've been doing this a couple years, so it's gaining in popularity, which is helping people recycle more. So what did you win? What was the prize?
We won $500 for our school, and so they just got a check, and they awarded us with it, and basically, but it's for the school.
Yeah. In the office, they have a fake this big check is taped on there, and I didn't really see it yet. But then no, I did see it. A week ago, I went to the school and I just saw it. Because some of my friends told me that it was there, but I saw it for the first time a week ago.
Yeah, because unfortunately, you guys don't go to the school anymore, so you don't get to experience all the glory of the win at the school. Why don't you tell me, before we go, if you wanted to give anyone one piece of advice about why they should recycle, or something they should recycle, or just why put in the effort?
Well, the world, there's like the landfill. If you really do like look at pictures, I mean, sometimes if you like look at pictures, you might be like, oh, I really want to recycle more, you know, save the world, but then they don't actually do it. You know, they don't actually put in the extra effort. But the thing is, like the landfills, they are piling up, and soon they will like just be taking over. And then so I feel like we should really start now, actually start recycling more and start like reducing the amount of garbage that goes into landfills.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing to think about like our past and when people actually started recycling, because if you like looked at the 80s, like no one recycled in the 1980s, which doesn't really seem like that long ago in like if you think about it now. So did you want to add anything?
Well, like if you're like really thinking hard, you'll know that like just like a couple things you recycle like really does make a big difference. And like if you just like throw away a couple pieces of paper, like one cardboard box, like that could really make an impact.
Yeah, if everyone did that, there's like 7 billion people in this world. So if you accidentally throw away a piece of cardboard or paper, then that is that much trash. If everybody just, oh, it's okay, it's just this one time, that just keeps piling up. And if you've seen the movie WALL-E, there's so much trash. And I watched that movie recently, and that was like, oh no, this could actually happen to our world.
Yeah, it really could. Well, congratulations to all of you, and it's amazing that you're spreading that word for all of us to see.
Thank you.
For more on this and other programs, visit a2gov.org/watchctn. Thanks for watching, and tune in next time to FYI.